We often associate mind wandering with daydreaming, taking a break from reality and letting your thoughts just meander. But according to Dr. Dan Siegel, that's not quite an accurate picture. And intentionality, he says, is the key distinction. When we become distracted and lose focus on the present moment, regardless of whether we're thinking positive thoughts or worrisome ones, it can actually trigger unhappiness. Here, Dan will tell us why this happens and what we can do to counteract it.
Presence actually leads to happiness. And so when they do a path analysis of the correlation of you being happy and you being present, they were able to determine that it's very clear. It isn't just that you're happy, so you're present. It's that you're present and that makes you happy. And the opposite of presence then is something called mind wandering, which we really want to distinguish from intentionally, let's say, resting by a lake, or, if you go to Martha's Vineyard, like you just did, resting by the ocean and saying, I'm going to let my mind wander and just relax. That's not called, in the research terms, mind wandering, because you've intentionally let your mind be creatively coming up with new combinations that you don't control. That's not called mind wandering. We should come up with a different name for that. Let's call that mind freeing or something like that. But whether you're mind wandering, thinking about things that distract you from what you're doing that are negative, or even if your mind wandering is onto positive things, both of those lead to unhappiness and are associated with lower levels of telomerase. So it's a really amazing finding just in the last couple of years to explore what it means to be present. And because that's a mind, process, that is, it's your subjective experience in consciousness of having attention stream energy and information flow into awareness. That's what presence is. So rather than me thinking about what happened last week or worrying about what I'm going to do tomorrow, instead, I stay present and I'm thinking about you and I'm thinking about this helicopter flying over where I am now and hoping everyone can hear us. And I stay present with that, whatever happens. So I'm still knowing I'm here. I'm still aware of the helicopter. It's getting distant. So I'm relaxing and I'm aware of my physiology. All that would count as presence. If I were talking to you in my mind, I'd be going, God, I've got to go shopping. I've got to make dinner. My wife just took off, and she won't be here tonight. So I'll probably have to just cook for myself. What am I, if I start doing that, which I'm not doing, I'm doing it as an example, that would be mind wandering. Even if I said, oh, what a great movie I'm going to go to tonight, I wouldn't be aware of what's happening as it's happening, which is probably the simplest way of defining being present. Now, mindfulness is not synonymous with presence, and exploring the difference between those two would be an interesting exercise and probably educational and useful from a clinical point of view and how you apply this in your everyday life. But anyway, that's the idea of presence as one component of mindfulness.
Simply by focusing our thoughts on the present moment can allow us to turn away from anxiety and worry and towards happiness and contentment. But Dr. Siegel suggests that happiness isn't the only positive thing presence can do for people. In fact, its benefits may even extend to cells and DNA. This week, Dr. Siegel will join us for a webinar where he'll explain how mindfulness and presence can help to strengthen and repair our cells. The webinar is free to watch at the time of the broadcast. Just click the link below to sign up.